Okay, I'm doing it again. I have another thing to say. I'm just gonna show you these shadows. Show you the sun right there. Hello. Because that's what actually I have to say. This is the second I have to.
Resuming workout.
Resuming workout. I'm just on one today. I have to say something because I had this thought and it feels important. And yeah, I'm on the same walk as my last video. But literally just now in this moment, back a couple hundred feet, I was looking at those shadows. It was at the very beginning of the walkway. I was looking at those shadows and I literally thought to myself, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
Time, 37 minutes, 58 seconds. Distance, 2 miles. Average pace, 18:59 per mile.
And why I thought that, it was just kind of a quick thought. I took a few pictures, and I said, wow, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Like the shadows, the way they are warping around the trees, perfectly bending. The light rays were hitting me. I just thought, wow, that is so beautiful. And I thought about it for like literally 1 second, and I was like, okay, if I was saying this to somebody, so I'm just gonna say, never mind. I don't want to make it more confusing than it has to be. I thought about it for 1 second, and I said, no, that's clearly not the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. You know, I've literally been to Iceland. I've seen unbelievable sights with my eyes. I've been to freaking the Austrian Alps. I've been to North Cascades National Park. I've been to Olympic National Park. I've been to Yosemite National Park. You know, like I've seen epic views. I've seen sequoia trees so tall that like they make me cry. I have seen views from the top of a mountain that are so unreal that I couldn't believe it. I've been to Iceland where I saw otherworldly, things that look like they are from a different planet. I was thinking about that. I was like, just for a second, I was like, clearly this little stretch of sidewalk is not the most beautiful thing I've seen in my life. But I still said it to myself. I still thought it to myself. I said it to myself. Freaking dogs. Again, I'm not on my normal part where I would do this because I'm coming up on a road here. Sorry. This is just a bad video, low key. And those dogs. I said it to myself though. I said to myself in my head, that is this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. But I've seen all these things. And I thought, why did I think that this is the most beautiful thing? That's silly. And I thought about what it means to like perceive something as beautiful. And I feel like, you know, everyone says, you know, beauty is subjective, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. You know, like that's like a thing. I don't want to get into that. That's too... Okay. I just ran a red light. Cool. Okay, well, I made it across the road without getting freaking hit. You know, everyone says, you know, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Beauty is subjective. All of these things, and I really don't want this video to be about that. Even though that is what this video is. But it kind of isn't. I was thinking that, and I was thinking, okay, who am I now? You know, compared to the last time I've seen something so beautiful, so incredibly awe-inspiring, jaw-dropping, that I've been like, wow, that is so beautiful. And I feel like, you know, my whole life, I'm just like, you know, this year especially, I'm just like growing and figuring things out and learning what it means to be alive and understanding life. And thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? I'm totally constantly changing. I'm a constantly evolving person and I'm a constantly growing person. And the person that is seeing this right now, these trees with the shadows and the sun rays, that version of myself right now, that might be the most beautiful thing that I've seen. And I think that's just because it's the most beautiful thing I had seen today. I mean, this is very beautiful too. But I don't know, is that corny? Is it corny to say that's the most beautiful thing I've seen today, which means it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen? Because I'm always growing. It's probably really corny. But I think there's some truth in it and some beauty that you know, it's kind of cool to say, you know, like, yeah, I have seen some incredible things in my lifetime, but was I the same person? And was I the same person the next time? Was I the same person the next time? Like, I'm going to keep growing. I'm going to see more beautiful things. I'm going to keep traveling. I'm going to keep doing things. But one little moment of seeing, you know, the right shadow or the right bird or anything could be the best it's felt, because we're all growing in our experience of learning how to take in beauty and how to live life. And it wouldn't feel as beautiful. That moment wouldn't have felt as beautiful if I hadn't gone to those other beautiful places. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I'm in my normal walk spot now. That moment of seeing those lights bend around those trees, they wouldn't have felt the same if I hadn't been to those other places. So there's no reason not to say. There's no reason to say like, oh, like, you don't need to go and see these incredible sights if you're just going to enjoy, you know, some random neighborhood in California. Like, no, I wouldn't be that person I wouldn't have been able to enjoy that same level of beauty if I hadn't seen those other things that made my jaw drop, that made my brain explode with how beautiful it is. Like, I wouldn't have been able to if I hadn't done those things. But I did, and they allowed me to see and grow into the person I am, to see those trees, you know, 10 minutes ago now, from the perspective that I did. So, that's all. Rant over. Enjoy your day or night. Okay.